Hello and welcome to Malt Box, the non-chill filtered whiskey blog. I'm Andy and this is Whiskey Review number 99. So close to Whiskey Review 100 and I'm so excited to get there. What I have for you today is a Lowland single malt Scotch whisky. It's an exclusive bottling for a particular retailer. It comes from quite a famous distillery in that Lowland region, just outside of Glasgow. It comes in the form of this Auchentoshan's Amazon exclusive Sauvignon Blanc finish single malt Scotch whisky. What a gobful. So this was initially released in November 2019. I recently picked this up a couple of weeks ago because it was on offer at $39.99 at the time of this review. So what are we now, the 20-something of May? They all blend into one at the minute. This is still on offer at $39.99. The usual RRP is around 55 quid. So there's the bottle for you guys so you can see it. So it's bottled at a healthy 47%. Bit of an odd number, but 47%. I believe it's chill filtered and I believe it's got added colouring because I can't tell you otherwise, guys, unfortunately, because it doesn't state anywhere on the bottle or the labelling around colour or chill filtration. So this was initially matured in ex-bourbon casks and then spent an unnamed finishing period in Sauvignon Blanc wine casks. Now, while I get this open, Sauvignon Blanc is a white wine. This is an example of that white wine. So I'm not saying this is the winery casks that it was matured in, but one particular area of the world it's becoming increasingly famous for its Sauvignon Blanc is Marlborough in New Zealand. I don't know if this is French Sauvignon Blanc cask or New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc cask. I couldn't tell you, I couldn't find anything either. So this is a limited edition. It is only available at Amazon at the moment. Again, 47%. Now, it's going to be a bit of an interesting review. It's going to be a review of two halves because, as you will see there, it says, crafted to be enjoyed chilled. So as part of their marketing campaign, what they're actually saying is that they've designed this whiskey effectively to be drank cold. So what I have done is I've also put a sample bottle aside. As you can see, it's condensed. I've put that aside in the fridge. That's been in the fridge for a couple of days now. So I'm going to try it first room temperature for you guys. I'm not going to add water because what I found so far of this whiskey that it doesn't need it, and I think it suffers for it, to be honest. It's by adding water. So room temperature first. Colour. Again, they've not confirmed, so in true malt box fashion, I am not going to focus on the colour whatsoever. What you will see, however, possibly what you'll see, the autofocus seems to be focusing on my face. Some really nice slow legs going down the glass there. They're not even started to fall yet, to be honest. It's got a nice sort of viscosity to the spirit. On the nose. I mean, for me, it's quite an interesting introduction because at its core, it is still incredibly Auchentoshan. It's still got an incredible amount of citrus. It's got a little bit of honey in there. It's got this nice biscuity kind of note on the nose. And in fairness, there certainly is a degree of wine in there. You know, there's Sauvignon Blanc is quite well known for its very sweet, very sort of like tropical flavour. And certainly for me, there is some of that carried into the nose. It's a bit spicy, a bit dry, maybe like some like dry hay, a bit grassy. Some vanilla, a bit of spice. Some ginger and some sort of like cereals, possibly. And you know, you do have at the back that kind of like fruitiness akin to the Sauvignon Blanc. Whether that's driving it, couldn't tell you, but you know, I think there certainly is sort of similarities there. When you first get a bottle of white wine in particular, and you know it's not been open for very long, you do get that initial very sort of like, well, it is grapey. It sounds stupid because obviously it's grapey. It's made of grapes, but white wine in particular, it's quite acidic. It's quite grapey, and you know there is that little bit of acidity here. Auchentoshan is quite well known for one of its little production niches, which is triple distillation. They triple distill pretty much all of their whiskey, and there's only a handful of distilleries in Scotland that do that. Springbank being one of them for their Hazelburn expression. But Auchentoshan, it's at their core, that is how they produce their whiskey. Therefore, generally speaking, with the standard sort of core Auchentoshan releases, you do get this sort of smoother, sweeter, softer, arguably, profile. And, I mean, for me already, I've not reviewed it yet, because I only got it delivered the other day, yesterday actually. There is sort of similarities to their standard American oak expression. There are some crossovers already with that sort of spiciness, the sweetness, the vanilla. So I'm going to try it on the palate, because I'm conscious I've still got to try it cold yet. Really nice mouthfeel, very oily, or is it? Kind of goes off a little bit. Buttery. You have that core sort of like Auchentoshan citric element and citrus stuff. You've got digestive biscuit, and for me, something I get a lot from Auchentoshan, particularly on the palate, is chocolate, like milk chocolate. I always seem to get milk chocolate from Auchentoshan bottlings. I get it from the American oak, and I'm getting it from this one. Is there some wine influence there? I think there is again. You know, you do have that kind of like little tropical fruit note starting to come through now. You've still got like a grapey element. There's vanilla. I mean, what I would probably say, there's a bit of nuttiness in there as well. And funnily enough, we were having a discussion, a couple of, you know, quite a few of us now, some like whiskey geeks are in a bit of a group, the Whisky Circus, and what we like to do is we have a video call, and I mentioned I was going to be reviewing this, and a bit of a discussion broke out, and one particular chap is a big Auchentoshan fan, bit of a fanboy, and he said what he always gets from Auchentoshan is nuttiness, and in fairness this does have that nuttiness. Arguably, could you say the cross between chocolate and nuts, Nutella, fruit and nut chocolate? Possibly. And then going back to that nose, the wine has become even more prevalent. For me, the palate is smooth. It's also kind of a bit one-ended. Not much happens up the front. Not much happens in the finish, apart from maybe the wine influence and a little bit of spice. The pocket of flavour seems to be quite centralised in the middle. So what I'm going to do now, again, I'm not going to add water, is I'm going to try it as the maker intended, I guess, which is cold. So this is chilled in the fridge. I will be honest, I have never been scared to be a proponent of drinking whiskey however you want to. If you want to mix it with Coke, do it. You want to do it with tonic, ginger, however you want to drink it, do it. Nobody should be able to tell you how to drink a whiskey. There is an argument to say that's what they're trying to do here. I mean, crafted to be enjoyed chilled. It's not something personally I normally do. The only time I put ice in whiskey, for example, is when I make a cocktail or like a highball or something, which is just whiskey and ginger ale. I find that chilling whiskies down naturally just basically closes them in and doesn't let them open up. It tends to sort of like mask a lot of flavours, hide a lot of things. Because at the end of the day, when you chill something down, the molecules are moving around a lot slower. They're not moving around as fast, which is what kind of helps bring those flavours and smells to the fore. So chilled, let's have a look. I'm just going to move these out of the way because I'm conscious I'll probably knock them over in it. mean, I'll be honest, there's no nose there anymore. There's nothing there. Try as I might, there's nothing there. I mean, I think when things start to come through, that's going to be because it's warming up, which is, you know, ironic, because that's not how they want you to try it. I mean, I suppose what I will say, there is something there, and it goes back to this. For me, the only thing I'm really getting there is a tiny, tiny little bit of biscuit, like digestive biscuit, again, going back to the unchilled version. But also, there's that kind of like sharp grapiness from those wine casks. I mean, for me, still, particularly on the unchilled version, I mean, I've not tried this on the palate yet, but for me, I think the vast majority of influence is still driven by the bourbon cask. There is some influence, as I've already mentioned, from the wine. It is a finishing period, but I don't know how long that finishing period is. Could be 6 months, could be a year, could be 8 months, could be weeks. Yeah, I mean, the nose clean, I guess, by default, because there's not much going on now it's chilled. Bit of biscuit, and again, that sort of like acidic grapiness. On the palate, wow, okay. It has changed on the palate as well, but that's because we're talking up front. It's a lot sweeter. It's just very, very sweet now. It's completely changed it by chilling it, interestingly. Again, as the finish goes in and it's warmed up in my mouth, you're getting that same sort of biscuit, nuttiness, bit of spice. For me, the only influence of this that is on this whiskey, chilled, is a tiny little bit on the nose, and it then actually becomes more prevalent on the finish. Again, because it's going down my throat, it's been in my mouth, it's warming up, it's coming out. Until that point, you're not really getting much. Lemon, again, the sweetness up front, and then you get a big hit of citrus, and then yes, okay, there's sort of like a tart sort of experience going on, which you could put down to the Sauvignon Blanc casks, again going back to that sort of like tart grapiness, bit of spice, but that's all in the finish. It's basically, to me, all that has done is pushed everything a little bit further behind where it was at room temperature. Same flavours, arguably chilled. Up front, that sweetness for me is kind of honey, and it does have a kind of nice sort of viscosity to it. It makes it feel a bit thicker in your mouth, but realistically, is it better chilled? For me, no. I prefer it at room temperature. Is it a good whiskey? I quite like it. I don't have a lot of Auchentoshan in my collection because historically I don't have particularly negative experiences, but nor do I have anything particularly positive to say about them either. The American Oak, I have had a bottle of it before, but I used it mainly in cocktails, and the half that I left for about 6 months actually turned out really nice at the end. I'll confess, I bought another bottle of this because I went through that so fast, because it is very easy to drink. It is an easy drinker. It's not overly complex, it's got a nice base to it. And also the reason that I bought another bottle is my wife has actually finally started to get into whiskey, which for me is like a kid in a candy shop. I'm just there, just like, try this. And this is actually the first one that she said, yeah, I'll have another one of them straight after. So she made a fair dent in this as well. So I bought it for me and my wife to share. So I have bought another. I'll be honest, it's not going to blow me away. It hasn't blown me away. It probably won't blow you away. But I think this would be quite nice for a hot day, like a summer day. Would I chill it and drink it chilled? If you want to try it, do it. I don't necessarily think personally that it adds anything to the experience. I think out of the two of these, I do prefer it at room temperature because, again, for me, you know, you've got the particles moving around a bit more, which then releases those flavours early on. chilled, it just sets it back. It just kind of delays it, and by the time it's down in your throat, and alright, you get a bit on the finish, but you're not getting as much out of the experience, are you? So yeah, for me, it's a good dram. Not amazing, but good. Nice little experiment. I kind of wish, it's no age statement. I wish they put an age statement on it. They bottled it at a good strength at 47%. I do like that. Kudos on that front. That is good. It's not cask strength, obviously. So yeah, I mean, it's all right. It's good. Yeah, it's all right. Again, I can't really say that I won't buy it again because I already have. But again, that kind of goes back to me and my wife sharing one, so it's quite interesting. And I'm going to try it in cocktails. I mean, we had this discussion earlier on our video call as well. Auchentoshan have kind of gone into the market of aiming at a younger market, and the way that they've gone about doing that is targeting malts for cocktail bars. So I mean, you've got the bartender's malt, which is another no-age statement Auchentoshan, which is supposed to be made to put in cocktails, and I kind of think that's kind of where this has gone as well, aimed at the younger whiskey drinker, and I think that's probably just the angle that they've tried to use. This is not the first time that this has been tried, sort of like a serve chilled thing. I seem to recall that there was a Glenfiddich that did the same. I think there was a famous Grouse that did the same. Dalwhinnie released a whiskey where they suggested that you drink that cold as well. For me, not my cup of tea, but drink it how you want to drink it. Whiskey is there to be drunk. I have said that so many times, and it's there to be drunk however you want it. You've bought it. Don't let anybody tell you how to drink your whiskey. If you enjoy it with Coke, you enjoy it with Coke. There's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. But when I say nout, that means nothing. There's nothing wrong with that. So that's it for the review. So I'll move the whiskey to one side, and what I'm actually going to do is touch on something else. Obviously, Whiskey Review 100 is round the corner. It's coming. And I am starting a giveaway to celebrate, because I'm really, really chuffed to be back in the whiskey community and hitting this milestone so early on after coming back. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be giving away a Maltbox t-shirt and 5 drams that I will select from my collection to send to the lucky participant. The way that you have to enter is you need to follow me on Twitter at Maltbox, or on Instagram at Maltbox Whiskey, and subscribe to the channel. And a winner will be picked at random. And basically what will happen, I will pull the drams up myself, send them to you in the post, tell me what size you're on the t-shirt, and I'll get the guys at the t-shirt company to send it. So get involved, guys, get involved, get following, get subscribed. Happy days, let's all drink a whiskey together to celebrate. So thank you very much for watching. See you soon.